The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
I thank the gentleman. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in opposition to this amendment. Get rid of this mask. You know, the previous administration was good at unmasking people. Where are they when you need them? Anyway, we've heard the same sensible logic from our side of the aisle countless times over the past 24 hours as we've debated this bill and its amendments. The package is overfunded, incorrectly prioritized, and a partisan process nightmare. So in a way, I guess it's fitting that this is the only standalone amendment we'll consider today. It's one that is seeking even more funding for one of this bill's most misguided priorities. The United States Chamber of Commerce said it best when they penned that this bill needed to avoid, quote, contentious and extraneous issues, end quote, for this bill to be supported. Let me tell you, the Democrats' unyielding focus on massive increases to applied energy, and in particularly for the DOE's already well-funded Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, is the most contentious issue here. By now, I'm sure you can all say it along with me, but I cannot stress it enough. It is basic research. It's basic research, not applied energy that will put us in the best global position to develop the long-term clean energy solutions to address our changing climate, and yes, lay the foundation for our clean and affordable energy future for generations to come. The Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy has grown considerably, starting with what was supposed to be a temporary recovery in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. Remember that? Temporary. What was it President Reagan said? There's nothing more permanent on earth than a temporary government program. Here is a great example. Today, it is funded at $2.8 billion with the B dollars, which is more than DOE's research in fossil energy, nuclear energy, electricity, and cybersecurity combined. And let me just say, there is no clean energy future without nuclear energy. H.R. 4447, just the base text, would spend more than $3.7 billion on the EERE programs. Really? This amendment, which seeks to increase authorizations by an additional 50%, can only be labeled as irresponsible. This is a contentious and extraneous issue. The country doesn't have unlimited federal research funds. It just doesn't. I'm sorry to disappoint y'all. It doesn't. It's difficult. Look, it's difficult, but we must set priorities and invest strategically. That's our job, folks. That's our job. This amendment does exactly the opposite. As Energy Subcommittee ranking member of the House Science Committee, I support an all-of-the-above energy strategy, and yes, that includes renewable energy. Texas is number one in wind energy. Texas is number one in wind energy. But supporting an all-of-the-above energy strategy does not mean increasing federal investment for every R&D program in perpetuity. What did Reagan say? Closest thing to eternity. I'd like to ask my friends on the other side of the aisle, when, W-H-E-N, do we let the mature technologies of wind, W-I-N-D, and solar stand up on their own on the market without continued funding to, quote, reduce market barriers? Market barriers? The only barrier is common sense thinking that we don't need to increase that funding. That's the barrier we're struggling against here. When do we acknowledge that the solar industry has an average annual growth rate of, check this out, 49%, and wind power has tripled over the past decades, Texas being the leader. These industries don't need our support for deployment. They're already in the market and growing, for Pete's sakes. This kind of duplicative and short-sighted strategy, while it may result in politically expedient talking points, I give you all that. I get that.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Madam Speaker, I thought he gave me as much time as I may consume.
He did. The gentleman's time has expired. The
Okay.
5 minutes has been consumed.
Well, I hope that we will vote against this. I hope you'll help us, Madam Speaker.
The gentleman yields. The gentlewoman from New Mexico is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.